he went over to Indiana last year and he replaced the production that Bogdanovich brought. He essentially replaced the player that Bogdanovich was. We have TJ Warren playing in Indiana. He lit up the bubble. The guy was probably a top 3 player in the bubble. Right up there was like Dame Lillard.
It was the only guy he wasn't better than was the guy who beat him in the Eastern Conference. It was Jimmy Butler. I mean, there's videos
Yeah,
where you see how much trouble Butler did give him, and it's because no one else on Indiana was really doing anything. But yeah, I mean, during the regular season, during the bubble, TJ Warren was one of the most efficient scorers in the league, honestly.
yeah, he was, and he's proven to be a great scorer in the past. He actually, I don't even know if last year was a career year for him when it came to points. But the difference between TJ Warren on Indiana and TJ Warren when he was on Phoenix, Phoenix was not a great team. Sure, they had a young Devin Booker in his last couple of years there, but they still weren't winning a lot of games. He was more of a primary option than what he's considered to be in Indiana. They don't need him to score more than what he does, but he still puts up 20 points per game. And then we noticed in the bubble that turns out he can put up more than that. You give him that opportunity, and he'll put up more than that. But to me, I thought he was a player that played on a bad team and stuff stats, and I'm wrong. You proved me wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, when he needed to step up last year, he did in every
He did.
facet, not just in the bubble, but between wins and losses. He had 22 in their wins, 15 in their losses. So, a guy who obviously they went with him. But yeah, in the bubble, it spoke for himself. As a guy who averaged over 24 points per game in the bubble, it was a guy who averaged a post All-Star game 46% on three-pointers.
Ooh,
Clearly, it's a guy who, when he gets hot, he's feeling it. Super hard to stop. And it's a guy I like too because I believe in Phoenix he was playing a lot of power forward, if I'm not mistaken, too. So it's a pretty big guy. It's a guy who, if you need him to go down low, like Bojan could obviously do that too. But when you have Sabonis, you obviously don't need to.
you don't need it, right?
Exactly, but he's still a strong small forward. Obviously not as good as guys who we have ahead of him in every area of the game. He's not going to compete with Kawhi in an area like defense, but not a bad defender either. He hangs in there with most guys. It just, like I said at the start of it, he wasn't able to outduel a guy like Jimmy Butler, who we're going to see later in
But
this
come
list.
on,
But
that's not fair.
yeah, but it's just like in terms of, I guess, when you go categories of players, that's just the only thing that's
He's under him in that way,
Exactly. Whereas if magically he does again shock us, he puts up 24 over the year. He's able to put up.
or increase his defense.
Yeah, exactly. One of the two. We could probably see him a couple spots higher. But yeah, it definitely gets really gritty. Gets down to tough players at this point. But yeah, I mean, would I rather TJ Warren or Gordon Hayward? That's a genuine discussion you could start to have now.
Funny thing is that we had both those guys tied.
Yeah.
So going up